So I'm at the final point, the end point of a major transition in my life. And I decided to write myself a love letter because why not? But in writing this love letter, I found a lot of healing, a lot of solace. And the words that I wrote down, if they can do that for me, I hope it can do that for someone else as well. But yeah, here it goes. Dear Kayla, let me begin by praising you for the courage it took to set yourself free. In your darkest moments, when everything and everyone seemed to reflect back nothing but shadows, you still managed to cast your light so brightly that those shadows had no choice but to fall behind you, exactly where they belonged. And here you are, standing at the end of a significant relationship, one that, though painful to release, became a powerful catalyst for your growth. A relationship that, despite its early promise, revealed itself as a mirror, showing you not who he was, but who you are becoming. You saw the truth, that you had fallen in love with the idea of a man who never fully materialized, and instead of continuing to long for someone who did not exist, twisting and contorting yourself to fit into a space that couldn't hold all your edges, you chose yourself. You chose love, the kind that starts within. And what a profound choice that was, because the potential you once saw, was no longer worth the cost of your happiness, your peace, or your freedom. So I applaud you. And God, just look at you, how deeply you've healed. You've done the work of becoming whole. So much so that somehow you now hold space not just for all that you are, but even for the man who deeply hurt you. That is radical compassion. That is healing embodied. You wanted forever with him, truly, but then you saw the cost of that forever. You realized you'd rather be single than slowly shrink into a mere fragment of who you're meant to be. It was not a version of love worth losing yourself over, so you chose you. You chose love. Again and again, you returned to truth. And no, he is not a bad person. You held on for so long because you believed that love required justification, that he had to be bad in order for you to leave. But growth teaches a deeper truth. Letting go doesn't mean demonizing someone. It simply means honoring what is over what was hoped for. That narrative was never needed to justify your staying or your leaving. Choosing to let go does not mean refusing to see him in his wholeness. In fact, it's the opposite. You saw clearly both his beauty and his limitations. You ended this relationship not to hurt him, but to set you both free. Free from roles you had outgrown and from patterns that were quietly suffocating your paths. Now, you are each free to become exactly who you're meant to be, even if that means walking separate paths. You still care. You really, truly do. But you care enough not to keep the two of you trapped in something that no longer breathes. You chose truth over comfort, growth over guilt, self-love over self-sacrifice. You chose freedom over fear. And I am so, so, so proud of you. Now the door is open for love, but not just any kind. Only the kind that is synonymous with the liberty of the soul, the kind where adoration is mutual, where presence is consistent, and where peace is prized over conflict. A love that doesn't require you to shrink in order to stay. And you did it, Kayla. You really did it. You opened the door. You made room for something real, tangible. And I love you for this. I've always loved you, and I always will. With deepest pride and adoration, Kayla. So yeah, that's my love letter. I'm glad I made it through without crying. Um, the truth is, this relationship had ended a long time ago. I've just finally gained the courage to sever the ties that needed to be severed. I know I'm not the only one who's been in a situation like this, but yeah. Anyway, I hope that these words are as moving to you as they are to me. And it might be healing for you to write your own love letter. So, yeah. Anyway, have a good day, and I'll check in with you guys again in my next video.